Merry
Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas from a not regular mom, a cool mom. Hey guys, so I thought it would be fun to do like a Christmas special, a decade of Christmases, or Ghosts of Christmas Past, whatever you want to call it. I think that's what I'm going to call it, because that sounds better than a decade of Christmases. But I have notes that I took from the last 10 Christmases that I've had in my life. And kind of going to go through them, give you some little mini story times, and also going to like have some pictures and videos of some of them, not a lot of them, but like the earlier ones I don't have a lot of. My rambly little intro, but I've got my Christmas socks on, they're red. My shirt's not a Christmas shirt, but it's green, so it's a Christmas color, that counts. Let's get started. So in 2009, I actually was dating this kid in my high school. We'd only been dating for about a month at this time, and I think because he was like my first real boyfriend, it got to be that point of we were together every free moment we got, and even when we didn't have a free moment, we were together like all the time. Like, it was really unhealthy, but like we were together all the time. And all I remember for this is on Christmas Eve, like I was gonna spend Christmas Eve at his house, and then Christmas Day I was gonna go back to his house. So my mom wanted me to come home on Christmas Eve, and I just remember being really upset because I didn't want to go home. But I wound up going home anyways, and we opened our gifts, and I begged my mom after opening our gifts, even though she bought me an iPod Shuffle, which at the time, in 2009, that was like the biggest, best tech thing ever, but like, I begged to go back to his house. She said no. I was really upset again. And we went and looked at Christmas lights instead, and we had a great time. This is actually one that I don't have pictures of, but you know, it was crazy. And then in 2010, the only picture I have of 2010 is of our Christmas lights, and all I remember is we only lived in this house for a very short time. I myself only lived there for about 2-ish years, or a year and a half, and then my parents lived there about 2.5 to 3 years. So at that time I had graduated high school. I was no longer with that ex-boyfriend, thank God. I was really into like the whole being single thing, and when you know, it's the only Christmas this whole decade that I've been single, but I was really into the single girl thing. I was going to beauty school. And that year, I will admit, I was slightly disappointed because every gift I got, I wanted like cool, fun stuff. Besides my stocking stuff, which was all toiletries, the only gifts I got were beauty school related stuff, and it was cool when I was opening them, but later I was kind of disappointed because I wound up not finishing beauty school, and then I didn't have any cool stuff. I just had all this beauty school stuff that I didn't need anymore. Alright guys, so 2011 was mine and Aaron's first Christmas. We'd only been dating since August, like the end of August, and again we'd kind of gotten into this thing where I kind of do this thing where I get really attached to people really fast. I don't know why, but me and him had gotten really close really fast. We were always together. We were always hanging out at his house. And that year, I guess, his parents and his sisters got in this huge fight. And I always thought this was kind of weird. I did buy his parents a gift, and they, instead of going out and buying me my own gift, I would have been happy with no gift. I would have been happy with a cheap gift from the dollar store. I probably wouldn't have cared. But instead, they gave me all of his sister's gifts, which I thought was super weird. And they legit told me they gave me the gifts because they were mad at her. And I just thought that was weird. So then the next day, we wound up at my house for Christmas dinner, where everyone had a wonderful, great time, and it was awesome. I tried to find pictures of this one. I could not find any, not even on my old Facebook, so So Christmas of 2012, we were living at Aaron's house. Her parents, or his parents, her parents too. His parents were still fighting with that same sister. She got pregnant and had a baby in April of that year. And it was really weird because she had been living with us. Then they threw her out and let her baby daddy live there, even though at one point they hated his guts and never wanted him in the house. All of a sudden he was living there and she wasn't. And I just thought it was so odd waking up Christmas morning to them buying gifts for me and her baby daddy. And me and him got like the most gifts. She got no gifts because she was not allowed to come back. Not allowed to come back. She did later on, but and Aaron got like 2 or 3 things, but I'll call him Joe. Me and Joe got the most gifts. So I always thought that was kind of weird because we weren't even related to them.
Merry Christmas!
2013 was actually the last Christmas we had spent with Aaron's parents. It's also the year that my sister had moved away, so we literally like a couple days before Christmas drove my older sister to the airport and then came back. And I remember I bought Aaron for Christmas a giant lighter in San Francisco when I took my sister to the airport, and that's what I gave him on Christmas, and a bottle opener. But they both said Alcatraz on them, except they weren't even from Alcatraz. They were just from like a random gift shop. But that's what I got him for Christmas that year. And it was super weird because also like literally the day after I came back from San Francisco, which is like 3 or 4 days before Christmas, his older sister got arrested for trying to assault him and assault a bunch of other people at his house. And so Christmas was super awkward. That year my gifts for people, I literally only spent money on Aaron and people in my family. I literally just decluttered a bunch of my crap and gave it as gifts to his family. And literally at Christmas, I just remember there was like this huge tension because his sister had been arrested, everybody was fighting, everybody was mad at each other, but everybody was sitting there trying to give each other gifts even though there was like such a tension in the air and nobody wanted to be there, and it was just really uncomfortable and awkward, and it was terrible. And then we went to my family's house where it was still uncomfortable and awkward because it was just a weird year that year. Alright, so the Christmas of 2014. This actually was like a really good Christmas for me. My parents were still getting along at that time. My whole family was getting along. Even Aaron and John, which was my boyfriend and my sister's ex-boyfriend, had been like totally accepted in the family that year. It was super cool. Like everybody was like super together and super into being a family, and it was awesome. And all I remember is just me and Aaron decorated the tree together one of the days because my mom and dad didn't want to do it. And we also, I got to buy gifts for people at work, and me and Aaron got to run around like all over in these fancy shops. And then still I wound up buying a gift at CVS for my friend at work. But that was still a super fun night. And then Christmas dinner was super fun. Everybody did our white elephant gifts. And it was just super fun. Everybody was happy. Everybody enjoyed each other.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Alright, so 2015 was the first Christmas that I was doing completely on my own. Like, me and Aaron, we had moved out on our own, we had our own jobs. I got to go Christmas shopping, and like I spent hella money on everyone and just got hella gifts. I decorated. I kind of went as crazy as I could in my little 1-bedroom apartment at the time, and I just loved it. Like, the pictures you're gonna see is like our decorations and our gifts to each other, and like we did both go to our Christmas dinner that year. and we wound up going down on Christmas Eve. My sister picked us up. We went down to my mom's and stayed the night, and we took a picture in McDonald's. McDonald's had a legit Christmas tree, and we took a picture with it. So that's in there. Christmas dinner was super fun. Everybody got along. It was at my aunt's house, and it was kind of crazy, and I was kind of drunk, not gonna lie. 16, we really didn't do Christmas. Like, literally, I think I only had my mom and my sister come up for Christmas Eve, and we went to the Chinese restaurant because I was super pregnant and I didn't want to cook. My mom and my sister didn't want to cook, and the Chinese restaurant was the only one that was open. And I remember we got Chinese food and sat and watched Home Alone and then opened our gifts, and then they went home. And then I just remember there being, like, besides my little tree, this exact tree actually with a few decorations thrown on it, literally being no Christmas decor or anything, but like, that was like a crazy year for me, because right before Christmas, like a month or two before, we had gotten our rats, so we had pets that we were trying to take care of. And then right after Christmas, literally like 2 days after Christmas, Lex was born, so we didn't really do Christmas that year except for the Christmas Eve thing, which Aaron didn't get to go to because he had to work. Yeah, but here's a picture of my rats and my baby. In 2017, like, I didn't put up a tree, I didn't put up lights, I didn't put up anything. Again, me and Aaron bought hella gifts. Mainly they were all for Lex, because it was Lex's first Christmas, and I had worked Black Friday that year, so I had money, and we just bought hella gifts, and we all just kind of like hung out at my mom's house for Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day we came back because Aaron had to work. But yeah, we like opened all our gifts. It was really fun, and here's some cute pictures and video clips of Lex opening gifts that year. And I was super pregnant with Max, so we did no decorations because I didn't want to put them away. That's why Max is not in these pictures or clips, because he was still on the inside. For some reason, last year and this year, both of them, even though it's Christmas, didn't really feel like Christmas to me. But, like, I literally did not decorate or do anything Christmassy to the apartment until Christmas Eve. Or the night before Christmas Eve. One of those nights. And I literally went all out, decorated everything, put out lights, so when the kids woke up on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I think it was the night before Christmas, so when kids woke up on Christmas Eve, there was hella decorations and everything. We did wind up going to the flea market and getting hella Christmas stuff, which I used to decorate, like 2 days or 3 days before I decorated it, and then like the next day after the flea market, we went to the Santa party, which was super awesome, so that's in here too. The kids got to meet Santa, they loved Santa. It was like a legit party, like tons of people were there, tons of families were there, tons of kids were there. It was insane, and I don't know if I can do those kinds of parties ever again. I hate large crowds and I hate parties, and yeah. And whoever thought putting that many kids in one place at one time was a good idea was not me. So anyways, here's pictures of our Christmas. our Santa party, our Christmas decorations, and like the kids. Don't touch that, please. What do you think? You like it? And now on to this year. So far we have decorated and then undecorated this tree. We have we have met Santa, we have opened lots of gifts. We have even more gifts to open, which we're probably not going to get to open until after New Year's because they are down at my grandma's house. They are Christmas gifts and birthday gifts for the kids, from my other aunt that was not at the Santa gathering. I'll just call it that because it wasn't a party, but yeah. So here's some pics and videos of Santa stuff and looking at lights that we did this year. That was super fun.
Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Merry Christmas, and to all a good night.